with John Brown and Nick Durst, live on the UCY.TV network.
Hey, back everybody on John. What's going on, Nick?
Hey, John, what is up? How was your commute today into and out of the city?
Surprisingly not bad because I didn't leave till 6 o'clock. So I heard 3 o'clock was the real bad time to get out because everybody was getting out of the city. I had a shit ton of coding and stuff we had to do for Friday, so.
Busiest weekend of the year for your company, I'm sure. My bus stop is actually literally right on that green mat you see from the Macy's Day Parade.
Oh, yeah.
Literally right there. So a bunch of tourists and band members who are going to march there tomorrow, checking it out. They actually removed the poles on the block that would actually have the bus signs. So I was just waving down the bus today. It was pretty wild over there. I could have just stayed there and camped out in the freezing cold to get a great spot, but instead I'll just stay at my house and sleep and not watch a second of it. But yeah, so 8:10 tonight, we have a very special 10 at 10. You and Andrew are both going to give, Andrew, our field reporter, obviously, phenomenal, and NJ Pollock are going to give the top 10 Thanksgiving foods to eat. So everyone's going to be looking forward to that. We encourage you to give us a call if you want about anything tonight, or comment in the chat, of course. Give us a call, though, 1-718-717-8296, or you could tweet us. I'm at Nick_Durst, and John is at SI_sports, and other things we're going to talk about tonight. At the end of the show, we'll give our Week 11 and 12 NFL talk. Stay tuned for our picks. John is picking the Giants to win, and I'm going to too. They're taking on the terrible Browns.
It's the Browns.
We're gonna briefly mention Goldberg back at Survivor Series. You see any of that, John?
No, I didn't. I don't watch the wrestling, but I do remember Goldberg from my 64 wrestling video game. Nintendo 64.
We'll just address this right now because it's so quick. Goldberg making his return after like 12 years. He's taking on Brock Lesnar. You know Brock Lesnar, right?
UFC, of course.
Goldberg destroyed Brock Lesnar. He beat him in 1 minute and 30 seconds. 2 spears and a jackhammer powerbomb. It was pretty crazy. Something you wouldn't expect. You wouldn't expect Brock Lesnar to just get destroyed like that, even in wrestling. For those of you who don't know, Brock Lesnar hasn't lost in wrestling in like 3 years. So it's definitely a big moment. And now he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. So there's your WWE recap after me and Andrew broke down some of our series last week. Also, we're going to talk about the MLB hot stove, basically Cespedes. Got to talk about him. We're going to talk about New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio. John's fired up for that. The protesters and the disgraceful MTA looking to raise fares again. But we start off with this. President-elect Donald Trump making some moves here with the cabinet. What are your thoughts so far on who he's appointed?
So far, I love every single move so far. And I know that's, I sound like a fanboy, but, I think he's shown a lot of, I would say maturity and being the bigger person, being able to interview people that were never Trumpers or Democrats, and B, he's not just filling it up with lobbyist cronies. He's filling it up with people, and some of those people who did not, get along with him and did not say good things about him, did not endorse him. He's filling it up with people that he honestly believes will be the best at the job. Did you see today Nikki Haley is going to become the ambassador to the UN? Love that move. I think it's real smart. She was a never Trumper, but he opened up the doors and he allowed it, which I like.
Speaking of a never Trumper, what's all this rumor about Mitt Romney here?
I think that's just conjecture. Obviously he had Mitt Romney come last Saturday, I believe, down to Jersey and come, not necessarily interview, but I would say a little bit to give the olive branch, try to bring the party back together, and B, to serve Mitt Romney a nice, big, fat, juicy plate of crow so he can eat that fucking crow. Kiss the ring, if you will.
Speaking of eating crow, what happened with the little media meetup at the Trump Tower?
Oh my God, that's like, if there's a New York Post article that they wrote about it, it's one of my favorite news articles I've read in years. It's just he basically brings all the heads of all the major news networks and to bury the hatchet, if you will. But before they bury the hatchet, if you believe that it was buried, they have an airing of grievances just in time for Festivus. And Trump said, did you hear what Trump said to the head of CNN?
I did not.
He said that CNN, he hates CNN. Everyone at CNN is a bunch of liars, and that they should be ashamed of themselves for the way they covered this election.
Ain't that the truth?
And then he brought up how you have quote unquote reporters who are crying because Trump won the election.
Yeah, like George Stephanopoulos and Rachel Maddow.
Well, he was talking about Martha Raddatz, who was a debate moderator as well. And the fact that she's so partisan that she's crying on live TV when he wins, if she feels that strongly, she's that part, she can't take herself out of it. She should not be A, moderating a debate, that's for sure. And B, she should become a pundit and not a reporter. Actual journalists are supposed to be completely not partisan whatsoever. They might have a lean to them, but they're not actively campaigning for one party over the other, the way that CNN is, the Clinton News Network.
Yep, the Clinton News Network, the Nothing But Clinton, the Clinton Broadcasting Station. It was pretty disgraceful the way everything was covered. The only shows that I really found during this election season that were fair would be obviously Hannity. Bill O'Reilly was pretty fair both ways.
I like Bill O'Reilly. My problem with Bill O'Reilly is he's very much a neoconservative. He's too much cut of the same cloth as, say, like George W. Bush, who, as a person I like, but his politics are flawed and ancient.
After the election, he was covering it fairly. He was really ripping into these, college students who are protesting for these safe spaces. He actually had 2 college students out from the Ivy League, and he was just like talking to them about like how their schools are being so ridiculous and stopping tests and stuff. And the other show that I thought was good, and I watched this on election night, was Cavuto on Fox Business.
Neil Cavuto is a actual journalist. He's actually technically in the pool of the never Trumper, if you will, because he was a Republican who never actually endorsed Trump. But I'll have to give this to them. I would say that Fox Business was a lot fairer to both sides than Fox News. Fox News has people like Megyn Kelly and Shepard Smith, who are essentially, they're Democrats and they're bashing Trump over, tabloid bullshit.
2 of the worst, Lester Holt and George Stephanopoulos. Rachel Maddow was the worst, though. She was just...
That's not even news.
All right.
You know what time it is?
It's time for the 10 at 10 with the field reporter for sports, politics, and more, the phenomenal one, A.J. Pollock. who's going to break down the top 10 Thanksgiving foods as we are on Thanksgiving Eve right now. And of course, John, he's a big fan of Thanksgiving. He'll be weighing in with his top 10 list as well. Isn't that right, John?
Yeah, this is America. Don't forget it.
Hey guys, I'm here.
Andrew, what's up, buddy?
Hey John, how you doing? I mean, I knew you were busy on Monday, but I was in Midtown anyhow because I had to take care of a few things. But
Yeah,
I mean, I'm happy to be. Let's hope Tuesday or Thursday next week we do something because I know Monday I don't want to bother you with Cyber Monday. You're going to be busy in the office, obviously.
Oh, crazy busy, crazy. That's our biggest day of the year. Last year, all our brands combined sold $600,000 worth of product. Isn't that nuts?
That's why me and John can't have lunch on Monday.
All right. I'm sure everyone was worried, especially Grump and Cracker and Otto in the chat. So if you were wondering why Andrew and John aren't having lunch next week on Monday, it's because it's Cyber Monday. But Andrew, everyone's been waiting this, and it's 8:11 now. It's time for the 10 at 10. Last week you were perfect. You did it in 9 minutes. So let's
wait. Let's do
this.
John. It's time for the Spam 10 at 10 with Andrew Pollock.
Perfect. All right, so like I said, we're going to hear your list first, run through it 10 to 1, and then John's going to give his list. Go ahead, Andrew.
Oh, boy, I got to think about this carefully. So, number one, I'm going to go with turkey.
You start with the number one. Wow, okay, go ahead.
Definitely turkey. No matter what happens, I love turkey. Okay? Say what you want. I love sodium in it too.
Nick, don't some of the Italians like yourself, don't they eat lasagna and some other stuff instead of turkey?
We always have turkey. We used to have lasagna. I haven't had it in a while because it's just a lot to make. But to me personally, this is all I'm going to say about my top 10 list. Turkey doesn't even make the top 10 list. It's awful. It's the worst part about Thanksgiving.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Changing it up. All right, I like it.
I eat a turkey sandwich. That's better to me than the turkey, which is dry and it just smells awful. It's just a gross process to me personally. I'm sure you both got turkey.
Have you had deep fried turkey?
No, I would love to. I would definitely do that.
Absolutely delicious. First of all, don't do it because you'll burn down your fucking house. But I had it when I was down south because they love doing that crazy shit.
Oh yeah.
It tastes like KFC. It's fucking phenomenal.
See that? I like fried chicken, so I would love that. But yeah, lasagna definitely number one on the Thanksgiving list for me. All right, Andrew, number two. Go ahead. Andrew, you're there.
All right, let me.
And by the way,
sure I'm not coming. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Andrew needs to have a lot of salt on his turkey. We learned today on his Facebook.
All right. Number two, I'm gonna go with stuffing.
Now, Andrew, does your stuffing have sausage in it?
No, it's just plain, but it's very seasoned.
Nick, sausage in the stuffing.
Stovetop?
Stovetop with Italian sausage in it. That's where it's at.
See, I got two different types of stuffing at my menu. The regular stovetop, and then we have Italian stuffing, which is homemade with ricotta, mozzarella, and chopped meat, which is it's just really good. That's what I have. All right, Andrew, keep it going.
Obviously, number three, I'm gonna have to go with the rolls.
Oh, obviously. All right, the rolls. I can't go wrong with the bread.
Number four, this might be a shocker to you guys, but I like to have applesauce on my table for Thanksgiving.
Definitely. What kind of applesauce? You go with the apple cinnamon, the chunky, regular?
I do regular.
Applesauce. The only time I eat applesauce is with pork chops. It doesn't go with turkey.
I actually disagree. I love having applesauce with turkey.
See, when I have the turkey, I put applesauce and gravy on it and salt. So I just put it all in there. It's pretty good, but pork chops absolutely got to have applesauce on it as well.
All right. So we're up to number 5, and I'm gonna go with sweet potatoes as long as they're cooked very well by my dad, who does a terrific job making them. I love to have sweet potatoes on my table.
I'm not a sweet potato guy. I'm not into it. I love regular
Not the way
potatoes.
you would love the way my dad does it.
Does he do it with marshmallows?
No. He basically makes sure it's seasoned very well. Make sure that the taste is correct.
Andrew, maybe you can invite John over for a leftover meal, or maybe you could bring him some sweet potatoes on Monday or Tuesday.
I doubt I'm bringing sweet potatoes into the New York City subway system.
Yeah, I don't want any Subway potatoes. Thanks.
Please, I had to eat lunch in the subway this week.
All right, keep it going.
I was
Andrew.
hungry. It was cold. I will admit that. All right. I'm gonna have to add ham, obviously.
Ugh.
I love ham. I will admit that.
See, I like ham too, but I don't have ham on Thanksgiving.
But you gotta understand, I'm non-orthodox. I like to do things that are crazy.
Ham smells so bad. I don't know why you want to eat that on Thanksgiving.
See, ham to me is it's an Easter thing. We eat ham on Easter.
Right. If you have a ham and a turkey in the oven, that is going to be the most awful smelling combination. Your house is.
No, I have my ham pre-made. I get it from the deli.
What?
Like a pound of ham, like sliced up at the deli, like boar's head.
Yeah. I'm not orthodox. Come on, guys.
What?
I love doing things non-orthodox.
This is nuts. When I have ham from a deli, I put it in a sandwich. I don't put it on top of my turkey.
No, it's a side dish. I put it next to the turkey.
All right, Andrew, you need to make sure you take a picture of your dish for us. Tweet it at.
This year I'm skipping it. This year I'm skipping it because of time constraints.
You're skipping taking a picture of your food.
No, not the food. I'm talking about the ham this year.
All right, but we need to see, John, you agree, we need to see a picture of Andrew's plate and show it in the UCY lobby chat next week as well, right?
Yep. Andrew, you take a picture of it. We'll post it on our official Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely will.
All right.
Definitely will.
Number 7.
I'm going to go with mac and cheese, as long as it's not cheesy. I love it more.
Mac and cheese without the cheese?
No, I like it. I like it with the crumbs.
Mac and
I like that too.
I like it with the crumbs.
All
We'll
right.
get that.
Number 8.
Number 8. I really have to think about this hard enough. But if I were to go with number 8, I'm gonna go with green beans. I mean, I'm not a big fan of them, but when it's Thanksgiving,
I'm a big fan of a green bean casserole with the onion soup and mix in there.
Oh yeah, that's my jam right there.
That's gonna be on John's list. Oh, we have
When
a
it's
tweet.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, go on with the tweet.
We have a tweet from Otto. And we'll get to this, Otto. It's about Donald Trump, so we'll get to that very shortly. Number 9, Andrew. Number 9.
Number 9, I'll go with popcorn. It started off with me as a kid, but after watching Charlie Brown, I figured maybe a handful of popcorn on the side will be good on my dish.
All right, popcorn, ham, turkey, got it. And number 10.
I am going to have to go with Thanksgiving cupcakes from Bruce's Bakery on Horace Harding Expressway.
Oh, giving a shout out to Bruce. All right, so that was Andrew's top 10 list. Now, we'll go to John's. I got a feeling John's going to have more than one dessert on this top 10 list.
You know, surprisingly, I'm not a dessert guy. I like carbohydrates. I can't believe Andrew didn't mention potatoes. Baked potatoes, mashed potatoes, French fries, some sort of potato other than the sweet potato. Also, I'm not gonna go with my top 10 list because it's very similar to his. But I would do some replacements. How about cranberry sauce? Where's that?
Ugh.
You have applesauce, but not cranberry sauce? What country are you from?
My house, but I just don't care for cranberry sauce.
I'm not crazy about it, but I like Thanksgiving's the only time I like it. My mom-in-law cooks, and she's been cooking. The last 6 years I've been married, I've been going to their house, and she could actually cook for an Irish woman, which is surprising because most Irish people suck at cooking. But she makes some really. Her stuffing has all kinds of like fucking cheese and sausage. It's outrageous. I could eat just a plate of that. But the bread's got to be from a bakery. I can't eat any like fucking white bread. That's disgusting.
How about the Pillsbury croissants that you make fresh from the oven? Where would you put those, John?
I do like those. I can eat a shitload of those. I know.
That's
So
what happened tomorrow on my ass.
almost every year, what I do is we wait to eat dinner for everyone to get there, and then they have all the finger food, baby hot dogs, that kind of stuff. I end up filling up on that crap watching football before dinner even happens.
All right, so John, are you in agreement with Andrew? Number one is turkey.
Yeah, turkey's definitely number one.
All right, so there you have it. Our 10 out of 10. John and Andrew gave their top 10.
This has been the 10 out of 10 featuring Andrew Pollock.
All right, Andrew, you got to get your own voice thing set up there so we can play it each week.
No.
There you have it, Thanksgiving. Give us a call if you want to talk about Thanksgiving or anything else, or write in the chat. But if you want to call us, 718-717-8296, or you can tweet us like Otto just did. John's at S_sports. I'm at Nick_Durst. Now, Otto wants me to read this Reddit post. Okay, guys?
Oh, boy.
I rarely go on Reddit, so I'm going to read it, and John's going to interpret it. This is on the Donald Reddit. Are you familiar with that, John?
I certainly am. I'm quite a contributor.
Okay, so I'm not. This person wrote this. Trump Shaker. Is that you, John?
Nope. My Twitter handle and my Reddit screen name are the same thing.
All right. So this person writes, and I'm not going to read the curses. Clean it up a little bit. Hey everyone. Yep, I messed with the FU Spez comments. It's been a long week here trying to unwind the Pizzagate stuff. As much as we try to maintain a good relationship with you all, it does get old getting called a pedophile constantly. As the CEO, I should tell you it's all fixed now. Our community team is pretty pissed at me, so I most surely won't do this again. FU Spez. John, what does it mean?
Okay, so a couple of things. So recently, this last week, there was a subreddit called Pizzagate, which sounds ridiculous, but there's actually a lot of merit to it. I write about it all the time on my new website, afteractionreporting.com. You can check it out. I made that website after Hillary got my Twitter account blocked for a day. I decided that I needed to shield myself a little bit. But so essentially what it is in the Podesta leaked emails from WikiLeaks, there is like code words where they started talking about pizza, and it's completely out of context. It doesn't make any sense. And then someone from either 4chan or the Donald or a mixture of the two, they sort of started decoding it, and they found some really disturbing stuff. So one of the things they were able to do was by manipulating the URL in the WikiLeaks website, they were able to find emails that were hosted by the WikiLeaks website, but not searchable. So essentially like almost like hidden emails. And inside of those emails, they found some really disturbing stuff about how the left, John Podesta and his brother, they're very much into like the occult and like devil worship. It's really, there's a couple YouTube videos that have pictures that were stolen from his iCloud account. It's really, really weird. But anyway, so.
And by the way, Otto says the post is from the top admin of the top admin CEO of the site.
Oh yeah, that's Spence. He's a scumbag. I hate him. He replaced Pow, who was this woman who was like a social justice warrior. She was terrible. This guy's terrible too. But the reason that all the outcry over this is, so Pizzagate had their own subreddit where people were looking into it and they were bouncing ideas off each other and stuff. It was like an online community, but sort of like a conspiracy theory type thing. But I'm going to honestly say there was some merit there. These emails are real. They're legit. Anyway, this guy, the head admin, CEO of Reddit,
I have an update on Pizzagate. Reddit has banned it.
Yeah, I don't know why they banned it.
Guys, I just Googled it. I just typed in Pizzagate on Google, and that's what just came up.
It's disturbing. It's really disturbing that. So if you think of this just a crazy tinfoil conspiracy theory, the idea that the head admin of Reddit, which is the front page of the internet, the fifth most trafficked website on the internet, is taking this down. Why are they censoring it if it's nothing? So I think there's something there. There's actually an explainer video that I'm about to drop.
The guy's name who runs Reddit is named Steve Huffman. Why is he censoring this?
Because he huffs and he puffs and he pulls the post down.
It's really, really disturbing. What's his motivation for pulling this down?
Hillary Clinton supporter.
He's a dirtbag. They purposely. So Nick, you'll get a kick out of this. So the Donald Trump subreddit is super active. It has 300,000 subscribers now. It's I think like the third or fourth most active subreddit. They purposely changed the algorithm to keep it off the front page so that people that weren't Donald Trump supporters wouldn't see what they were posting. Like, he's the president of the United States. Why are you trying to hide what we're saying about him? It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Not to mention violating our First Amendment rights.
Oh, they hate First Amendment rights. Free speech until it offends someone, and then they get all fucking nutso over it. It's insane.
That's the liberal communists we have. It's ridiculous.
Cracker in the chat says, "F those maggots, ego-driven assholes."
Yeah, I you know what? I have to agree. Cracker is right on point. This is sort of the reason why it's such a big change election. These elitists, they think that they can just dictate what reality is to us. It simply doesn't work that way anymore, and we've rejected it. America's rejected that.
Well, speaking of elitists, well, we got Andrew here. I want to get him involved in this discussion. How about the greedy, elitist assholes that are the Metropolitan Transit Association, aka the MTA, which controls the New York City Transit? They, for the third year in a row, plan to raise the bus and subway fares. The subway is going to go up to $3 per ride, and the bus, which I take every day, in addition to the subway, is going to go up to $7 per ride. So I'm going to be spending $14 a day going to and from work. It's an absolute disgrace. These people at the MTA are money driven.
John, you guys got to hear about the Verrazano Bridge, which is going to be even more ridiculous. They're going to be raising non-Easy Pass fares to $17.
Well, we all got Easy Passes, so it doesn't really concern me. I mean, John, you probably got Easy Pass, right?
Yeah, I got Easy Pass, of course, in Jersey. The Verrazano is fucking outrageous, though.
I know. I was on the Verrazano Bridge, I think, a year ago because my great uncle passed away last year. It's ridiculous how the Easy Pass prices are even ridiculous.
Yeah. So now here's the conspiracy thing here about these idiots. They're holding public hearings about these.
And you know what's even more ridiculous about my public hearing is in Jamaica. I don't want to go to Jamaica at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Here's the thing about the public hearings I'm about to say. They're in they're in tough to get to locations.
Like me, Jamaica.
And let me talk, Andrew. They're at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, which is not good because the majority of people will still be commuting and wasting their money and time or stuck in traffic on this terrible MTA service. So they won't be back from work in time to get to these hearings. And it's just it's absolutely a farce. A farce, I tell you, that they're going to get away with this nonsense again. And I know you guys saw that last week I tweeted Joe Borelli. If you're not familiar with Joe Borelli, he's a councilman, New York City councilman. And I said, can you do something about the out-of-control MTA? Their fare and toll increases are not fair for us with our terrible commute. I'm in Staten Island. I have the worst commute possible, an hour and 40 minutes each day. I'm always late to work, except today because no one was going to work. And he said, yes, Nick, we're trying. But I don't know what could be done. They're out of control. This is why I didn't vote for Joe Lhota because he ran the MTA. It was terrible raising fares. And now under de Blasio, they're out of control. There's no restrictions on them. They're not stopping them. They have a monopoly. And someone who runs for mayor that is going to say, I'm going to stand up to the MTA and have them stop stealing your money, that's who I'm voting for. What do you guys think should be done about this terrible MTA situation? And what do you think Mayor Bill de Blasio should be saying about this?
Well, before John makes his point, I want to say this from the dated article from the MTA website on November 16th. They're claiming this is the lowest fare increase in 7 years. John, please take it away because we
It's a
need to
third
hear
year
your
in a row
opinion on
that
it.
you're facing it, though. I mean,
John,
it's ridiculous.
John needs to give his opinion. Please.
Listen, this is a microcosm. New York City is a microcosm of what America would have been under Hillary. Because fucking Wilhelm is essentially just like Hillary. Tax, 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 spend, spend, spend. The problem is the city's incredibly inefficient at spending money and is just shitting money out the windows, completely wasting it. So, well, we wasted all this money. What are we gonna do? We got to get some more money. So what they do is they just raise the tolls, and you got to realize it's the working man who's going to pay for it, because a lot of people get their Metro cards or whatever from their job. So their job has a thing called the trip ticket or something on the lines of that. I know my job does. Is just going to have to start paying more. So essentially, what you're doing is like almost adding a payroll tax to a lot of these businesses, and people that aren't fortunate enough to work for a company that will absorb this will just have to take it out of their own pocket, which is absorbent and ridiculous. It's not like we have great infrastructure here and the roads are awesome and the subway is beautiful and air conditioned. I have to, whenever I take a subway, I'm in a homeless shelter. It smells like piss, and I'm worried about getting fucking
It's disgusting. There's always traffic because the buses break down or there's not enough bus lanes. But listen, they're gonna. So for me, example on the express bus, if it's gonna be $14 a day. Let's say I go to work 25 days in a month. I'm gonna be paying $350 a month just to commute. I mean, that's a disgrace right there.
Dude, right now, New Jersey Transit's no better, by the way. It's I will say, hand up to God, that it is better than the MTA. The MTA is fucking outrageous. Because you know what? The New York City Transit, right now, my monthly pass is $326 a month, which is really expensive. But, it's a nice chartered bus. It runs on time quite a bit. My problem with my commute has nothing to do with actually New Jersey Transit. It's really New York City because the tunnel is just unbearable every day.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And the tunnel, like the toll is, I think it's high for the looking tunnel, but they got to pay for that. We know they got to do work. Now, Andrew, I don't know if you knew this, but the Verrazano Bridge was supposed to be free once it was paid off. This thing was paid off like 40 years ago, and they're still raising tolls on it. It's ridiculous. They need to be held to their word.
Listen, the people of Staten Island deserve better, obviously. I know I talked to my family who lives in Staten Island, and
hold on a second. John, do you know Andrew has family in Staten Island?
Yeah, his great uncle is there. He died a couple years ago.
Yeah, last year. I have cousins who live in Staten Island, and they talk to me about it all the time. Oh, well, we're always the forgotten borough. Why are we paying these ridiculous fares on our bridge tolls? I'm like, you guys deserve better. The point of the Verrazano Bridge was to connect Brooklyn to Staten Island for those people who wanted to go to the rich, fancy clubs in Staten Island. So in terms of, how the Verrazano Bridge is robbing people, it is. And I feel that if you're a tourist and, you're coming to the Verrazano Bridge from Brooklyn, you should not be paying $17. That's almost $20 right there just to cross into Staten Island.
Yep.
It's outrageous. And by the way, one quick note about my bus route, the QM5. I don't take the bus into Manhattan after I got stuck in the Midtown Tunnel. So I would normally take the QM5 going back into Queens because my bus route, believe it or not, goes onto the Queensboro Bridge, goes onto Queens Boulevard, cuts the Union Turnpike, and then drops me off 4 blocks away from my house, which is, believe it or not, 5 minutes away.
Yeah, you know what the real crux of this issue is, and it goes all the way back to Robert Moses. When he planned out New York City, he really fucked Staten Island, and I think the idea was to keep it suburban so that it wouldn't become just like Bay Ridge. But in the long run, that's actually hurt us quite a bit because our infrastructure is not set up for how many people are here. But the Verrazano Bridge, when they paint it, by the time they're done painting all the way across, it's time to start painting the other side again. It's it's really a scam, but it's really the problem with big government not being able to manage money correctly. If you look at something like the BQE, they've been working on that BQE. Fathers work there, their sons work there, and then their grandsons.
That's never going to be fixed. It's just that's endless construction. They're just paying construction workers to literally. I passed by there at the middle of the night, and they're hosing the pavement. That's what they're getting paid to hose the pavement, which is so stupid.
Absolutely. So this is what it is. The local 1015 Iron Workers Union gives a shitload of money to the local DNC. They promote, whoever, Quinn, as your city councilman. When Quinn's working on the budget, she has to hand out work. She has to hand out essentially government contracts to go fix the roads, right? She gives it to
the roads are messed up in Staten Island, but here's the thing that's really messed up in Staten Island. I don't know if you're aware of this, but under the ferry route, there's actually they started building which would have been great and perfect, a New York City subway that goes straight across the Manhattan River to Staten Island, and it's pretty much done. But then for some reason, Staten Islanders back in the day said, we can't have this running. It's going to have too many people come living here in Staten Island. So now we got people came and lived here anyway, and we have an almost finished subway that's not even in use. It's amazing how much money was wasted on that, and why nobody thinks to actually finish it and get it up and running. It's because the MTA wants to make all this money off Staten Islanders going over the Verrazano Bridge or taking the buses.
Yeah, I've actually been hanging out when I was a teenager. I used to go drink beers and shit on those unfinished railroads. But yeah, man, that entire project, the Verrazano Bridge, when it was originally designed, was supposed to have subway cars on it to connect the city. But Robert Moses and all his brilliance and other city planners after him, they were trying to keep Staten Island to become, more like Long Island, where it was more suburban than urban. The problem is with rising, cost of living in Brooklyn, it drove tons of people to Staten Island. Now, Staten Island's really set up for about 150,000 people. There's over 500,000 people living on the island now. Like it's insane.
And Brooklyn is now the most expensive place to live in the world.
Guys, I want to let you guys know something right now, okay? And this is the true origin of my family, okay? My dad's family's from the Bronx. That's not the major important part of my family. It's my mom's side. They were actually all from Brooklyn, okay? And they were getting so annoyed about how overall living in Brooklyn was becoming at the time. So they had two choices. One, my parents made the right decision moving here to Queens, or two, going to Staten Island. So a large majority of my family now, they're in Staten Island because Brooklyn got deteriorated over the years.
Absolutely. That's a very traditional thing that happened. And so my dad grew up in Red Hook. It was a shit neighborhood. He moved to Staten Island. Staten Island is now a shit neighborhood, and I moved to Jersey. I guess 3 generations I'll be living in Ohio.
Andrew, what part of Staten Island is your family in? Do you know?
Let me
North Shore,
think.
South Shore?
Brooklyn?
Of Staten Island.
Oh, I have it on my map. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up for you guys.
Right.
Wait. Arden Heights.
Arden Heights. They live on my block, Andrew. That's where I live. Arden Heights.
Wait, you live in Arden Heights?
We'll talk after the show. Yes, I do. But John, did you hear about the plans for Staten Island to get a gondola, which is going to be attached to the Bayonne Bridge soon in like 6 years, and you're going to be able to take the gondola in New Jersey and get in the PATH train, take that into Manhattan.
Yeah, I'm sure the homeless guys hanging off the fucking wires of the gondola is going to be great.
But here's what they say. They claim it's going to take 30 minutes to get to Manhattan. Here's the problem. Where is there parking by the Bayonne Bridge? You have to pay for a parking lot. Then you're going to have to pay for the gondola. Then you have to pay for the PATH train. And then you're going to have to pay for the MTA. That's going to be a fortune, if you ask me.
Oh my God, guys, you're not going to believe this. In 1964, the original toll on the Verrazano Bridge was 50 cents, which would be $3.84 today.
It's like a 300% increase.
Ridiculous.
I tell you though, so I don't know where you guys are getting ready, but I had kids and stuff early, so I have a house. I was going to buy a house. I bought my house here in Jersey, which is 4 bedrooms, 250 square feet, for about $360,000. For $360,000, you can't buy a townhouse in Staten Island. The price of living in Staten Island is outrageous. It's insane.
Yeah, I think unfortunately I'm gonna have to be moving to Jersey at some point, which pains me because I don't want to live.
Or come to Queens.
I'm not going to Queens, Andrew. There's no parking. Alternate side of the streets. In fact, you got these small houses probably for the most part with no driveway and no backyard.
Well, I've managed to live in Queens for a very long time, so I'm used to it.
Right, you're used to it, but when you got to try to start a family, it'll be a little difficult, I'm guessing. And I don't know. We'll see. We can talk about the New Jersey and New York school system another time. But I want to move on here. And if Andrew, you got to go, you can go. But you want to
No, I can actually stay till the whole show tonight.
Excellent. And anyone wants to talk to us, please give us a call, 1-718-717-8296, or tweet us at Nick_Durst, S_sports, or Andy's randomness, or of course, right in the chat. We are monitoring that as well. We got to talk here about Mayor Bill de Blasio saying,
Big Boyd.
Keep on protesting, destroy the city, waste our tax money. If you're Muslim, come here and do whatever the hell you want. If you're an illegal immigrant, great, we want you here. If you're an American citizen and you can't have any money, you're going to be homeless. There's no choice. Sorry, we're not going to help you if you're a real New Yorker.
By the way, if you're mentally ill, screw you. That's what de Blasio says.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Bill is all about the immigrants. He's all about the Hispanics. He's all about the black voters. So before we go to John, who's going to explode, Andrew, you've been posting recently about Mayor Bill de Blasio's approval rating, especially with the NYPD. Why don't you share that with our non-New York listeners?
Well, first of all, for any non-New York listeners, if they're listening right now, I highly suggest you check out my YouTube channel because I've recently brought up the two main issues that will be into the next year's New York City mayoral campaign. But this week, I focused on an old New York Post article I found from March. And the statistics I gave in that video were very alarming. And I understand that this Thanksgiving holiday, our boys in blue who will be representing the 5 boroughs have a way more tougher job than they had, I don't know how long ago, but it's becoming a problem. Our cops are not getting respected, and de Blasio has made them feel like trash.
Well,
It's the real shame.
That's because he doesn't care about the cops for some reason, which is really dumb. So now we got him encouraging the protesters, right? My buddy.
Oh, it's gotten worse. He's even encouraging the mentally ill.
Right. So my buddy, my childhood friend Matt, he's a cop for just about a year now. This guy, he was laughing. He made $500 Saturday night sitting in his cop car in front of Trump Tower. $500 just to sit there.
What?
And he said that this is because the cops getting paid overtime. He said the protesters didn't even show up because it was raining. But de Blasio wants to encourage
Yes, I was in
protesters.
Port Washington. I knew it was raining anyway.
So, John, I want to ask you, if these protesters that are protesting the presidential election didn't actually vote for the president, what makes Bill de Blasio think they're going to come out and vote for him next fall?
I have no idea, but I tell you right now, his rhetoric is not only is it super dangerous and it's encouraging violence, it's stupid. It's a non-starter. He's trying to pander to the Bernie fan, leftist New Yorker so that he'll get more, another term. But in reality, like they interviewed him and he talked about how, he's protecting his constituents. That's why he's all about, us being a sanctuary city and everything. But they're not your constituents. They can't vote for you. So, how are you supposed to win another election when your policies are for people who are here illegally? It's just more flawed logic from people that are their whole ideology is just broken.
We got a
never
comment
mind.
from Anon, who's pointing out what John always likes to point out. His name is not even Bill de Blasio. John, tell him what the real name is and why he changed it to get the Italian vote.
Yeah, well, he's a fucking pretend artist. I don't trust anyone who has a fake name. His name is Wellham, I think. Wellham. Anybody who has a fake name is just completely full of shit. Just so you want to try to take politics out of it, just look at the city, man. The city's it's become a shithole. It's just there's trash everywhere. There's homeless people everywhere. the heroin epidemic is really it's taking a toll, and the public works for actual New Yorkers. The quality of life for an actual New Yorker has plummeted. It's terrible.
Right now, the administration in place does not care about actual New Yorkers, which is a disgrace. And now, Andrew, why don't you tell our non-New York listeners what was found in the WikiLeaks with Bill de Blasio's aide and what he said on his sign and his little protest thing there? Or John could let everybody know, because I don't know if Andrew's there anymore.
Yeah, and maybe we lost him.
Oh wait, I'm here, guys. My mic must have got disconnected.
Turn your mic on!
I'm sorry, it's a loose wire.
So tell us about the WikiLeaks, Andrew.
Well, there was a sign online that was leaked last week onto the internet where I'm hoping I get this job next year. One of de Blasio's aides, believe it or not, who makes $100,000 a year, which I should be making, has a sister, okay? And the sister goes online, posts a photo onto the internet while she was at Union Square Park protesting President Trump, basically saying that screw whiteness. It actually really said F whiteness, but I was so annoyed when that happened. It literally made me angry, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm supposed to be making this salary if Bo Dietl gets mayor, because I do want to be involved in his administration. You mean to tell me that you're having this stupid broad, because again, Bo will love me using this word right now, broad, posting this photo onto the internet?
Yeah. So, John, what's your take on that? I mean, everybody is hearing.
Get off my screen, you dumb brunette.
Yeah, this is all you need to know. During this election cycle, we essentially flushed out how terrible the Hillary Clinton mafia is, between the Clinton Foundation leaks, all the WikiLeaks stuff, John Podesta's emails, the DNC emails we got to read, and guess Bill de Blasio was right in bed with her. In 2008, when she ran her first failed presidential election, he was her campaign manager. So he's right in bed with all of this stuff, taking money from foreign government, taking money from corporations. He tries to pretend to be, a leftist and a liberal progressive like, Bernie Sanders, but he's not. He's a phony.
And John, I mean, we were really dying for your take last week on this. We'll get it now. What do you think happened when Bill de Blasio went to Trump Tower last week to meet with Trump? And who do you think initiated that meeting?
Oh, it was Trump. Trump's been on his Kiss the Ring tour. It's why he had Mitt Romney there, and it's why he's had all the heads of the different news organizations there. He told them to come on. Hey, Bill, let's have a talk. He came there, kissed the ring. Then he went outside and cried like a bitch to the media. So I guess the ring kissing didn't go too well. But I tell you right now, Bill de Blasio is on his way out. He's not getting a second term. And he better be careful that nobody finds what the hell his password email is, or he might be getting fucking going to jail.
Yikes. So Andrew will be covering the election for us, obviously. He's very, very well invested. And obviously, as our field reporter, he'll keep you posted as the months go on here about the New York City mayoral race. But now we move our attention to the hot stove, MLB hot stove.
Yes, let's talk about the MLB hot stove. James,
they traded McCann, but you know what? Who cares about the Yankees? Let's talk about everyone wants to know about. We want to know about Yoenis Cespedes. John, is he coming back to the Mets or what?
Cespedes for the rest of us. I want to believe, because I think he really honestly loves playing here. And you know what? If the Mets give him 5 years, $110 million, and I don't know, San Francisco is willing to give him 5 years, $120, maybe he does. Maybe he likes playing here enough to put a little money on the table. But if the Mets aren't willing to open the checkbook at all, he's going to walk. I would like for him to be back, just because I don't think he's Barry Bonds or anything crazy, but you know what? He's a free agent that worked out for us. Let's do it. Let's sign up for it. I think we show the fan base that we're not serious about winning if we let him walk, especially after letting Daniel Murphy walk the year prior.
Yeah, we let the almost MVP go. Cespedes wants 5 years, $150 million. Obviously, who are we to say? Just give it to him. I would try to give him like 4 years, $130 million, see if that works out. This is who I say is going to give him the most money. The Washington Nationals 2 years in a row. The question is, will he go there or will he take a little less to be a Met? If the Nationals have Harper, Cespedes, and Daniel Murphy, they're gonna win the division easily. The Mets have no shot without Cespedes next year. No shot. The backup plan is Jose Bautista, who's great, but he's no Cespedes. And who does the deals with Jay Bruce? Definitely don't know what's going to happen there.
Well, they already re-signed him.
Well, they picked up his option, but they might trade him. I don't know what his value is going to be.
Guys, I saw the back cover of the Daily News today. That the Daily News officially confirmed that the Yankees don't want this guy.
The Yankees don't want Cespedes?
Yes, the Yankees do not want Cespedes, according to Mark Feinsand.
Well, they definitely should.
The Daily News is a rag. It's only good for blankets for homeless people. The Daily News is a tabloid. Might as well read like the National Enquirer. It's junk. If they let somebody
Listen,
Sean King in blackface.
Ever since Steve Bannon got named to the Trump administration, I can't get off Breitbart. I'm addicted to it now.
Breitbart's good stuff, man. Their stuff is biased. You gotta give it what it is. It is biased. But they report stories that regular news won't touch with a 10-foot pole. And listen, just because something's controversial doesn't mean you shouldn't talk about it. One of the guys that writes for Breitbart is Milo. He's actually hilarious. Sometimes the regular media tries to look at his stories and be like, "Oh, you're so racist," blah blah blah. All of his stories are punted. They're all jokes, not jokes, but he puts a jokish spin on them. He's a flamboyant gay Jewish man, and they try to make him an anti-Semitic, racist Nazi. Doesn't make any sense.
Interesting stuff. So yeah, as everybody knows, someone from that website was appointed to the Trump administration, and of course, we're going to keep you posted on everything Trump and the cabinet, everything MLB hot stove as the winter progresses. We got the winter meetings coming up in 2 weeks. We'll be talking some terrible Knicks and New York Rangers as the weeks go on. And we're going to be talking about mayoral race. But we're not talking Knicks tonight. We don't got time for that garbage. We're going to talk about the NFL right now. Week 11 last week, the curse is over. The Giants beat the Bears. The first time I ever see them win a game there. And the Jets, they had a good week. They didn't lose because they didn't play. But they're going back to Ryan Fitzpatrick next week, which is who knows what's going to happen with that. And the other thing of note would be that the Texans played the Raiders in Mexico City. Mexico City, why they're there, who knows? But now apparently Commissioner Goodell wants to have more games in Mexico City next year, which would be terrible. But he wants to move the London games back to 1 o'clock, which is good. And hopefully the Raiders end up in Vegas, along with the newly named Vegas Golden Knights, the NHL hockey team, which will be coming next year. That's going to be really cool having professional sports in Vegas. But let's get into our picks. Me and John are going to run through these quick, and then
I will do the Thanksgiving Day games only because I figured it's obvious I do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do Thanksgiving first, so we'll start with John. Vikings, Lions, quick analysis there. That's a 12:30 game. Winner is going to be in first place in the NFC North.
I really like the Lions. I think Matt Stafford is underrated. Picking Lions in this. I hate Sam Bradford, and I hate the Vikings.
Agreed. All right, I definitely agree with you there. Andrew, what is your take?
I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. They're at home. I like their wide receivers. The Vikings, since this losing streak began and ended so far, I thought last week was a very gutsy performance against the Cardinals. And this week it's not going to be an easy game. But why not the Lions? Why shouldn't they not win this division? I feel that whoever wins this game overall will likely win the NFC North. But in the end, I just feel that it's Thanksgiving Day. The game's in Detroit. The crowd's going to be behind them. Why not the Lions? I take the 2.5.
All right. Well, it hasn't helped in the last 40 years. But, yeah, the game's at home. Lions are going to win. John, this is the big game here. Very important for us Giants fans. Redskins at the Cowboys. Let's go Redskins. Kirk Cousins is going to have another great day. You like that? Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
Unfortunately, I'm taking the 7 points against the Cowboys.
All right, so John, what do you think?
Cowboys, sorry.
Yeah, I hope Not what I think. It's what I hope. I hope that Zeke Elliott finally gets some fatigue from touching the ball so goddamn much, and hits the wall on the second half of the season, and fumbles or something on that nature. Or maybe the Redskins just show up to play and actually make them throw the ball around in a shootout. And
Well, the Redskins, they're not a joke anymore. They won a division last year. They're good this year. I don't know if you guys caught this on the Sunday night game, but after the game, after Kirk Cousins had another great game, he's third in the league in passing, by the way. He goes up to the general manager of the Redskins, and he said, "How you like me now?" on camera, because the guy's going to be a free agent, and he's going to get paid big time, because I don't think they're going to give him
the
franchise.
Packers got creamed by Washington on Sunday night.
Well, they were going to tie the game because Rodgers is unstoppable, but then there was a fumble. Last Thursday night game, the Thursday night game for Thanksgiving, the Steelers are taking on the Colts. No Andrew Luck.
That's my lock. 8 points.
I'm going with Big Ben here on the Steelers.
Absolutely. No Andrew Luck. They're basically finished.
So there you have it, our Thanksgiving Day football picks. And now let's get into the other games of note here. We're not going to go through all the games here. We don't have time. So let's start with this game. The Patriots are going to come to MetLife Stadium to take on the Ryan Fitzpatrick and
I am not watching that game. Forget that game.
Well, we know John's going to be locked in at 4:25 on CBS. John, Patriots, don't make Tom Brady mad. The guy's pissed off right now. No Gronk, though, so it might be a little closer than we expect.
I don't think so.
Both of you guys, how many interceptions for Ryan Fitzpatrick?
3.
Andrew?
I'm going to go with 6.
6 picks! Ryan Fitzpatrick back at it again! And do you think the fans will be chanting, "We want Petty," and booing Fitzpatrick?
They likely will, but I won't be watching the game because the 4 o'clock game stank this week.
All right. We don't have time for that nonsense. But the other game of the week...
Wait.
No, shut up. We don't have time. We got a second.
This is important. Chiefs playing Broncos. Prediction now.
That's not important. The important game is the Giants at the Browns. John, we got the Giants winning. It's going to be a great game for the Giants, hopefully. It's going to be too close, though, because McAdoo, he's a little lost at the end of the games. The only question here is, what quarter does Josh McCown get hurt? I say the first quarter.
I think that possible MVP, Lyndon Collins, sacks him, breaks him in the first quarter. Let's go. Big look.
JPP was amazing last week with the Bears. Olivier Vernon was great. It's time for once again to say Steve Spagnuolo is one of the best defensive coordinators in football. The defense has been bailing out the offense all year. We didn't have time to talk about this, but McAdoo's play calling was terrible at the end of the game last week. 2 runs with 6 minutes left and throwing the ball to stop the clock. John, what do you have to say to our listeners about the show tonight or Thanksgiving tomorrow? We got about 30 seconds. Go ahead.
One more thing. Chiefs will win. John, make your point.
All right. Chiefs suck. Be thankful for America. Be thankful for having a real president. And thank God that Obama's gone. No more medals for being in Hollywood. No more medals for fucking being Forrest Gump. Actual American stuff going on. America's coming back. We're going to make America great again. Starting right here in New York. Andrew for mayor. Let's do this. 2016.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Sports, Politics, and More right here on the UCY.TV network. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good Thanksgiving, whether you're watching football or not, or just eating the food. Remember, guys, if you go to Andrew's house, you're going to have ham and hot dogs and turkey, but for the rest of America...